There have been some big heavy movers right now in the Pokemon market, especially when it comes to single cards. We've had some big hype recently, of course, around Prismatic and Journey Together, and we have the Team Rocket set, right? And that is the big one that everybody, including myself, is super excited about. They'll be coming out later on this year, and we've started to see some real big shifts of particular cards in general related around Team Rocket. You know, with that Team Rocket theme that have been going up, right? Last week we looked at the Jesse and James card from Hidden Fates. That card has seen incredible booms. So let's take a look at today on TCG Player at some other big movers over the past week. So let's get into it. Okay, here we have the biggest Pokemon movers of the week, well, movers and shakers, as you can see. You know, kind of got a theme here going Team Rocket. Let's get into it. So first off, we have Giovanni's Exile. So we had the Jesse and James card spike in Hidden Fates. Well, now we've got the full art trainer coming in, Giovanni's Exile. This is an interesting one, mainly because this used to be a very cheap card in Hidden Fates, and it was kind of a bummer, really, to pull it, right? You would be paying quite a high price for Hidden Fates packs. You would pull this card, and you'd be kind of let down, because it wasn't very exciting. It just wasn't. But now it's a pretty good one, right? It's a pretty good one. Giovanni's Exile, we're looking here at $13. I mean, we go back over the past year, and I mean, this card has been sat around less than $2, and it did actually go to as high as 20. So that is a massive, massive price increase. That is just absolutely crazy. So it says here, this Hidden Fates support is a big winner of the week, spiking hard, going up to $20, right from $2 in just 2 weeks. You know, it says they saw the Jesse and James card shoot up as well, and we're going to see this trend happen. I think leading up to Team Rocket and the release of the new set, you're going to see a lot of cards related around Team Rocket start to go up in price. Right? We saw it with the Jesse and James, see it with Giovanni's Exile, and I think we're going to be continue in looking at today some others. So let's take a look at the next one. So we have Persian from Shrouded Fable. This is now the most expensive card in Shrouded Fable. And we'll be doing a separate video actually about Shrouded Fable real soon, mainly because Shrouded Fable is an interesting one. It is an interesting one, mainly because I think it's kind of slept on, right? Everyone always says, Jace, what do you think is a slept on set? Could be Shrouded. You never know. We'll keep an eye on it, but Persian is doing very well, right? We're looking at $67. It actually peaked a little bit higher at around 76. Dipped a little bit recently over the last few days. This is still a huge, huge card. When the set came out, the biggest card was the Earthen Vessel, right? The gold Earthen Vessel, which is fine, you know, very good playable card. That's why it's fetching that high price point. And then it was like the Cassiopeia, and a lot of people were like, what is going to be number one? Like, for me, I feel like it needed to be a Pokemon. The Persian card was around $20 to $30 for the longest time. And I was like, you know what? This seems to be such a good fan favorite card. The artwork's pretty sweet. I expect it to go up over time. And here's the boom, right? Here is the big price spike of the Persian card. It is an amazing card, by the way. So it says here that, you know, had my eyes on this evolution from Shrouded Fable for a while, as I noticed the price beginning to tick up this few weeks, and then finally pulled the trigger. I mean, it is just doing very, very well. It's at a steady $25 to $30 card since it was printed in August of last year, and here we are, right? It's pretty much doubled in price, which is very, very impressive. Then we've got the Houndoom, also from Shrouded Fable. This one's actually my favorite card from the whole of Shrouded Fable. And the whole set, as a rule, I'm not a huge fan of, mainly because there's not that many cards I personally like in the set, and it just hasn't really performed very well. But the Houndoom, again, was kind of one of my, along with the Persian, one of the cards I expected to be a big fan favorite, right? I like the Houndoom from Battle Styles, the gold card. This one looks absolutely awesome. Really, really sinister looking, which is what I like about it. $48. It's dipped a little bit because it did go as high as around $53, $54. But again, it was like a $20 card. You know, same with the Persian, between $20 and $25 for the longest time, and now doing very well. So it says here, you know, I'll give you one more pick from Shrouded Fable. Of course, we have the Houndoom, and it has doubled in the past 2 weeks, which is very, very impressive. And if you look at the rest of Shrouded Fable, which we'll do in another video, but if you actually look at it, the set actually has quite a lot of valuable cards and good playable cards as well, which is pushing that value up. There's an interesting one because Shrouded Fable was quite easy to get hold of. Pull rates are quite tough, I find, in Shrouded, like to try and get these top cards. So there's definitely something to look out for. Then we're looking at the Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer Box. I kind of feel like this is just, you know, one of these things it keeps getting talked about time and time again. It has gone down though. The one thing I will say is the price is going down. In my opinion, it's not going down fast enough. I would like to see it get close to that MSRP. I really don't see it happening, even with a reprint. I do expect to go down when the reprint happens, whenever that happens, but I just don't see the market value of the ETB dropping to 55 or less. It might happen, but I don't think so. So we have here $111, and it was at that all-time high, which was when pretty much just before the set came out, and it's going for like 150 to 160 in ETB. I would like to see it go below 100. That'd be quite nice. Like here in the UK, we're looking around about 85 to 90 in ETB, so it is kind of selling around that price point. It's an interesting one because a lot of people ask like whether or not it's worth getting. I think for the purposes of opening up the product, I'll just wait. The reprints are coming. We don't know how big. We don't know how much of certain products we get, reprinted and so on and so forth. I do hope they print more of the Elite Trainer boxes, similar to what they did with Crown Zenith, because Crown Zenith had a very similar journey, really. And they did reprint a good chunk of the ETBs, and it did drop the price down to a good level. So I hope they do that with Prismatic. That would be really, really cool. And then I would actually open up some as well. And it just means more people can get it, right? At the end of the day, I'm here for reprints. I always like the idea of reprints. I still think it should be print to demand. I don't see Pokemon ever going down that route, especially anytime soon. It's kind of weird. It's like they want to have, just to create this FOMO, really, this artificial amount of, limit the products, which seems bizarre to me. It's like, surely you might as well just print more, because the more you print, you're printing money, right? But there we go. But yeah, it is going down, which, is nice to see. But the individual cards, though, they are holding. They are holding very well. Now, one thing I will say, going back to like the price, I know that a lot of people want this to be at MSRP and be able to get this MSRP, and there will be places, if there's a reprint of the ETBs, there will be places that you'll be able to get it at 50, 55 or whatever it is, and especially here in the UK, there will be some. However, the value of the individual cards in the set are so expensive, the price of the ETB, or just the packs in general, will not go down that much. Mainly because you got like a perfect storm, right? You have very tough pull rates to get these big chase cards. Similar to Evolving Skies, you take a look at like a set like Evolving Skies, and even Surging Sparks. When you have cards that are worth an insane amount of money, the packs aren't going to be like $3 to $4 or $4 a pack. It's just not going to happen, right? So the fact is that we're having multiple cards in the set that are several $100s a piece. One, in fact, of course, the Umbreon being around that $1,600 or more, or whatever it's going for at the moment. I just do not see Prismatic packs going back down to MSRP. Unless they make the pull rates better, which Pokemon historically has been known that the pull rates get tougher with reprints. I hope that's not the case, but just keep that with an open mind moving forward. Next up, we got the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. This is a beautiful card. I absolutely love it. I think it's adorable. The Squirtle, the Bulbasaur, the Charmander combined, fantastic. $80 now for this Squirtle. And here's the thing, like with Stellar Crown, is this a small set, right? It's a small set similar to like Obsidian. Pull rate's quite tough on that level of Prismatic, but of Twilight, sorry, and Surging Sparks. And here's the thing, the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur, for the longest time, I was like, these are going to be the two biggest cards in the set. I did a video when Stellar Crown was shown, even before it came out. I was like, these two are going to be the most expensive cards in the set in the future. Let's go overtake the Terrapagos. Just give it time. And Squirrel's getting there, right? $80. It's pretty much doubled in value. I wouldn't be surprised if this will be over $100 a card in the near future. It's just that good, right? It really is. And then we have the Bulbasaur, which is a little bit cheaper, just under $70. But again, this one's also doubled in price. I mean, even here in the UK, these are pushing pretty high prices. I think the Squirtle's maybe about 50, 60 or more. And the Bulbasaur around that 50 mark as well. So yeah, pretty pricey cards. Stellar Crown, I mean, it's relatively easy to get at the moment. A little bit more pricey, but you still can get it, which is nice. I do expect reprints to come, so that may drop the price a little bit. So hopefully, I the two of them though, I prefer the Bulbasaur. That one's my favorite. I do like it. I think it's pretty cool. Then we got the Groudon, my boy Groudon, one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. Absolutely love this artwork. I don't have it though. I've got it in Japanese, but not in English, which is kind of annoying. $110. This one absolutely crushed the Roaring Moon, which held the top spot in Paradox Rift for the longest time. Paradox Rift, I was looking at this the other day, and you know, we'll go into it in a bit more detail. But Paradox Rift is one of the most highest value sets in the whole of the Skull and Violet era, and there are more cards above the $20 range than any other set in the Skull and Violet era. It is incredible, right? Well, I mean, main set, not specialty sets like 151 and Prismatic, but out of the main booster box sets, it is very, very good. And Groudon, now being an illustration rare, pushing over $100 is incredibly impressive. And across the board, we've been seeing Paradox Rift really doing well, right? A lot of the single cards going up in price. Booster boxes and stuff, again, a bit tougher to find. Even here in the UK, I'm looking around, I'm like, where's the Paradox? They were literally everywhere for like $110 a piece. Where are they? So, yeah, really interesting one. Groudon, amazing artwork. I think this one's going to continue to be a powerhouse down the line. I just absolutely love it. And then they also talk about the Altaria SIR, this one, which is very, very nice. I do like it. It says that's also climbed from $25 to $45 over the past 2 months. That's nearly doubled as well. Keep that in mind. We'll keep an eye out for that one, of course. But yeah, very, very impressive for the Groudon. There you have it, guys. Those are some market movers. Pretty much anything Team Rocket right now, or anything related to Team Rocket, is doing really well. And again, Skull and Violet era stuff is proving to be very, very good, especially when it comes to illustration rares. That's one thing that has been proven to do very well. You look at the Squirrel, the Bulbasaur, the Groudon, of course. Pretty much like you look at the rest of them, like Houndoom and Persian, they're all illustration rares, and they're all doing very, very well. Of course, you know, when we look at Prismatic, it's a weird one. We'll have to wait and see when reprints come, of course, but it's nice to see at least some of the prices of the products drop in, even though the single cards, like the big SIRs, are holding up their value. And I expect them, just because of the pull rates are so tough, to potentially hold their value. But it'll be interesting to see if this set gets reprinted into the absolute ground, which I know a lot of people are hoping for. And I do hope it does get reprinted quite heavily. Because it just means people just get to open it, right, and enjoy it a lot more. It just seems, like I said, it just seems weird. They just haven't really, they just didn't print enough to begin with, which is kind of strange to me. But overall, Shrouded Fable is an interesting one. I will be doing a video covering Shrouded Fable because that's a real good potential. But not only that, I think that, moving forward, a lot of this hype around Team Rocket, I think the cards that have spiked will drop. I don't know by how much, but I do expect them to drop once the set comes out. But we haven't seen anything regarding the set yet, but it's going to be a home run regardless. Right? It could be set of the year, even better than Prismatic. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens regarding that in the future. But yeah, guys, keep an eye out for these illustration rares in the Scarlet and Violet era, right? Across the board, even the cheaper ones, because we've seen some incredible price hikes recently of a lot of illustrations. So yeah, now is a good time to potentially pick some up if you haven't already. If you made this far in the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments about what has been going on in the market. Is anything else catch your eye, right? Have you been seeing something you're like, wow, that was really going on? Let me know down in the comments. We're really interested to see. I mean, I am really surprised about that Giovanni's Exile. Of course, we saw the Jesse and James. There was another card that did go up in price, which they didn't cover on here. Giovanni's Charisma from 151. Again, another Team Rocket related card that has been going up, which they didn't cover today. But that one is another one as well. So maybe look around at some cards and see whether or not they've been going up in price if they're related to Team Rocket. Because I think there's probably going to be more out there that could see some price hikes. And that is it from me, guys, in today's video. If you wish for more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.